Hi there, and welcome to Let's Stress Less. If you're a woman who's feeling overwhelmed with life because your stress level is out of control, you're pretty sure your stress could be affecting your health, and you want to get a handle on that before it gets worse, stick around. I've got you covered. I'm Chantal. I'm a registered nurse and your lifestyle design coach for stress mastery. And I can show you how to unwrap the gift of stress so you can go from barely surviving to fabulous and thriving. Hi there, and welcome back to our 8-part series, Unleashing Your Power, the 6 A's of Stress Management, where we talk about 6 powerful strategies for managing stress. In part 1, we talked about the first 4 A's of stress management, which are avoiding, altering, adapting, and accepting. In part 2, we talked about 2 more A's, numbers 5 and 6, which are asserting and aligning. Today in part 3, we're going to circle back around and go a little deeper into the first A, which is avoiding. I want to go a little deeper because the better you understand how this strategy works, the better your results will be. So let's get going. In part 1, we touched on the importance of avoiding stressors whenever possible as part of your effective stress management plan. Now let's look at some ways to identify and avoid unnecessary stress. The first step in avoiding stress is to recognize the factors that trigger it. Stressors can vary greatly from person to person and even for the same person from moment to moment. So it's really important to identify the specific circumstances, events, environments, thoughts, or people who tend to create stress in your life or trigger your stress response. Keep a journal or make mental notes of situations that leave you feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or frustrated. And pay attention to where you are, who you're with, and what you're doing when you feel the stress start to rise. And then keep track of your body's SOS signals or signs of stress. Note how your body alerts you that there's a problem. If you can identify these details surrounding your stress triggers, you'll be able to avoid some situations that you know will trip your trigger, and if you can't avoid them altogether, your awareness will help you limit your exposure to them, and that will help you recover more quickly. Now think about your boundaries. Establishing and maintaining boundaries is essential for protecting your mental and emotional health. Boundaries define the limits of your comfort zone, and they help you avoid situations that can cause stress. The 2 most important tools you'll ever have when it comes to setting effective boundaries are to learn to say no when needed and to resist the urge to take on more than you can handle. Sometimes we even need to set boundaries related to our own behavior. You've probably not thought of it as a boundary, but prioritizing your own needs first and making self-care a non-negotiable is a must-have boundary. You cannot manage stress without self-care. Setting boundaries will not only prevent some stressors, but boundaries also help you develop healthier relationships and a greater sense of personal empowerment. Now look at your environment. Your physical environment can have a significant impact on your stress levels. Consider how you feel in certain rooms or places. If a cluttered room or area makes it harder to focus and increases stress, or you have a hard time finding things, declutter and organize that space to free up your mind and your time so you can focus better and be more productive. Your environment also includes social situations, events, and gatherings. If these environments make you feel stressed or overwhelmed, try to limit your time there. If you have to be present, try to keep your attitude positive and counterbalance that with some time in places and spaces that feel relaxing and peaceful, like parks or beaches or even the quiet cafe. This will help you recover from your stress and overwhelm much faster. Making conscious choices about your physical environment can go a long way in avoiding unnecessary stress. How about your social media time? In today's digital age, constant exposure to news, social media, and other sources of information can contribute significantly to stress levels. The 24/7 news cycle bombards you with negative stories and sensationalized information, and that creates stress, anxiety, worry, and fear. Consider setting limits on your media time. Designate specific times for catching up on the news or engaging with social media, and then be mindful of the content you consume. It's really important to try to strike a balance between staying informed and protecting your mental health. Now look at your addictive risk behaviors. Avoid behaviors that increase stress. Alcohol, drugs, smoking, and other risk behaviors all seem like great ways to de-stress in the moment, but they're actually very low-end tools. They damage your health, which puts you at greater risk for potentially life-changing and even deadly health consequences, and they trap you into addictions that cause much greater stress in the long run. It's much harder to break a bad habit than it is to avoid developing the habit in the first place. How is your support system? If certain people or relationships consistently create stress in your life, it might be worth considering some changes, like limiting your time with them or having a courageous conversation and try to explain how you're feeling. Try to surround yourself with people who uplift and support you rather than people who drain your energy. Work on developing friendships and relationships that encourage positivity, empathy, and understanding. Building a support network of like-minded people can make you feel encouraged, inspired, and heard, and this will help reduce your stress. Remember, avoiding stressors doesn't mean burying your head in the sand or completely isolating yourself from challenging situations. It just means to consciously choose what you expose yourself to and then being proactive about safeguarding your mental and emotional health. By identifying your stress triggers, setting boundaries, making changes to your environment, limiting social media, avoiding addictive risk behaviors, and surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you, you'll feel more in charge and your life will feel more peaceful and less stressed. Please share how you identify and keep track of your stress triggers and how you avoid them whenever possible. Now, keep an eye out for the next video where we'll take a closer look at the second A of stress management, which is altering. Stay tuned. If you like what you're learning, hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you can be notified when my next video comes out. And tell your friends, after all, stress is contagious and they have it too. My goal is to help you learn to unwrap the gift that stress can be, while never losing sight of the reality that unchecked, stress can wreak havoc on your brain, your body, and your behavior. I want you to be empowered to take control of your stress now and course correct or fix some things before your health is at risk for devastating consequences. And I want to help you reframe your relationship with stress so you can fall in love with your new best friend. Join me each week right here for more tips, tools, and valuable insights as you learn how to recognize and unwrap the gift of stress so you can take control of your life, your health, and your happiness as you go from barely surviving to fabulous and thriving. And if you'd like more videos like this, then make sure to watch the video on your screen. I think you'll like it. And always check the description box for links to more free tips and tools to help you master your stress today. See you next time.